We'll see if anybody comes in here or not. Just had a nice little debate. What's up, Jeff? How's it going? Hope you guys are doing well. See if anybody comes up in here or not. So where some people don't understand that I'm a new owner operator, but there's one simple basic rule when you negotiate your rates as an owner operator on the spot market. There's one simple rule that I've been taught to go by in any negotiating facet, not just in trucking. And I was just on, there's been a lot of controversy over the last week or so from the founder of CDL for Life and Alaskan Cowboy. I was on that page. She made a post on there telling people her way of negotiating rates. And, everybody has their own way. That's great. We all run our businesses differently. I respect that. I have absolutely no ill will towards anybody that wants to run their business in a different way. But, let's see if I can make this a little better here. Oh man, I don't have a good setting here for this phone. But what I do have an issue with is when somebody is giving you a logical reason for the reasoning that they do it the way they do, and then all the other person can do is say, "Well, you're wrong." Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong. That my way isn't, the way to do it. What's up, Bluish Hugh? How's it going, man? All right. So anyway, I was in this debate with I'm not even going to say her name. I don't even remember exactly what it is, but y'all know if you guys are on CDL for Life, you know who I'm talking about. She's the founder of CDL for Life. And she made a post saying that the only way to negotiate a rate is as soon as you call the broker, you immediately give them the number that you want for the load. That is the worst advice for any owner operator out there or anybody that wants to get into becoming an owner operator. You do not throw your number out before you find out what they're willing to move it for. Hell yeah, man. I don't blame you one bit there. I was wondering about that. I was able to fill in the blanks there, Hugh. I was able to figure that one out. But what she said was, you need to give them the number first. And at first you kind of think, okay, well, sure, maybe. And again, if it works for her, it works for her. That's great. But as you think about it, you're like, okay, well, if you give, and she's the only person that I know of that says to do that, by the way. I've heard Truckers Coach, I've heard Trucking with LaShawn, I've heard everybody that is successful out here say to do it the way that I do it. And the way that I do it is you ask them what they're moving the load for. And then when you find out what they're moving the load for, then you give them what you're willing to move it for. And the reason behind that is, the reason you don't just throw out a number is because say you call up a load that's going 500 miles and you have a number set. You say, okay, well, I'll do it for $1,500. That's $3 a mile. So, you call them up, and if you immediately say, well, hey, I will move this load, but only for $1,500. All right, well, what if they were going to move it for $1,800? And then now all of a sudden, you have just given them $300. You have left $300 on the table. And you did it without even realizing it. You screwed yourself without even realizing what you did. And to do that is just beyond me. It doesn't make any sense. And I was trying to logically explain my way, and again, I hate to say my way like it's the only way, but I was trying to logically explain why that made sense, to have them throw out the number first. And I did it very thoroughly, and in my opinion, very articulately. And all she could do was say that I'm wrong, and to stop being prideful, and that I needed to join her business group to learn the way that she does it, because that's not condescending, and because her way, because I'm the one that's being too proud, right? So but yet she's advertising for her business class in order to teach me the right way, but I'm the one that's being too proud. I don't understand the condescending attitude. She blatantly just came out and was like, your way's wrong. It's wrong. How? Tell me how my way is wrong, and then we can have a discussion. But don't just tell me that it's wrong and then say that I need to join your group because you've explained it as best as you can. And the only way that she was explaining it was that she was telling me that if I let them give me a number first, that I have essentially let them determine my rate and my cost to run the truck. As if I don't have the will or the willpower to say, okay, no thank you, that's too low for me, and then hang up and move on to the next load. When you call in to a broker and you ask them what their rate is on this load, you are not committing yourself to that load. The way she makes it sound is like you're committing yourself the second you ask what they are willing to move it for. You are not committing yourself. And you cannot just go in there and, if you're in a market, in a lane, say Florida, which has knowingly horrible rates and has for a long time. If you go into Florida and then you just arbitrarily, if only, right? She may have them, who knows? But if you're in Florida, you cannot arbitrarily call a broker and say, hey, I want to move this load for $4 a mile. The broker's going to laugh at you. They just are. I mean, you have to be realistic. To a degree, yeah, we set our rates out here, but at the individual level, you have to understand what lane you're in, and you have to understand that when you throw out an arbitrary number, you have just set your own fate, because they are not going to give you a higher number than that. So, you have there was a prime example. I picked up a load, and I even gave her this example exactly to the T. And again, all she could tell me was that I needed to put my pride away and join her business group. How hypocritical is that? I need to put my pride away and join her business group because she needs to teach me a thing or two, apparently. And again, I'm a new owner operator. But when it comes to negotiating, it is simple, basic rules for any facet of negotiation. Whether it be cars, whether it be booking loads, whether it be buying a house, anything. That is the art of negotiation. You don't throw out your number first because you are negotiating against yourself when you do that. So anyway, my example was a few months ago, I was in Washington State. I was in Seattle, and I wanted to find a load that was light that took me back over the mountains because I'd carried a very heavy load through the mountains to Washington, and I wanted to get better fuel mileage to get out. Made sense, right? Kind of balance out the miles per gallon and make a little better profit coming out. So I called on a load that didn't have a rate on it. It was only going 450 miles. And it said that it was weighing it said it weighed about 35,000 pounds. A little heavier than I wanted, but I'm like, okay, we'll go ahead and give it a shot. I emailed the broker. No, I'm not in Florida right now, thank God. I'm in Ohio. I'm going home tomorrow. I live just north of Dayton. But right now I'm delivering in Zanesville, Ohio tomorrow in the morning. But anyway, I emailed this broker about the load because I was interested in it, and he called me at 5 in the morning the next morning. And I had a rate in mind that I could do the load for, because I'm like, okay, well, 450 miles. I'll just say, I'll have my rate at $1,800. That's what I'll hit them with. I wasn't even expecting them to be okay with 1,800, because that was going to be, about $4 a mile, and yeah, I mean, it was possible, but I wasn't sure if they'd go with it. But I didn't want to give them the number right away, right? I figured that would have been financial suicide to do that. So I asked the broker, so what are you trying to move this load for? And he says, I'm trying to get $2,400 for it. I about choked on my tongue because that was $600 more than I was going to throw out there. If I had thrown my number out there first, I would have lost. In other words, I would have given the broker $600. All right? But yet she wants you to throw out your number first, and I explained this to her thoroughly, and nothing. She, all she could do was tell me that I was wrong, and it's like, well, give me a reason. Give me a reason that I'm wrong so we can discuss it. Don't just tell me that I'm wrong. That is the, it's just, oh man, anyway. It's just one of those things. It's like, I by no means confess that I am, in any way knowledgeable when it comes to the owner-operator thing, because I'm new as hell at it. But when it comes to negotiation, anybody that has ever bought a car, anybody that has ever done anything that involves negotiating understands that. Oh, she just mentioned me in a comment on Facebook. Gee, I wonder what she's saying. I'm probably going to get kicked out of the group because I'm the only one that's been talking back to her about it. But it's, it's just kind of one of the, to say that I'm being too proud because I'm trying to tell other drivers not to leave money on the table is just asinine. Absolutely asinine. But what can you do? I mean, you can only explain it so much. And if you're just, in any debate, that's one thing I've gotten good at is debates, because I've been on several debate pages, political debate pages. And, it's fun to debate. I get heated up, and as you can tell, it's fun to debate sometimes. You're passionate about something, and then you think somebody's wrong about something, they think you're wrong. But, it's a lot more intriguing when the other party can give you a reason to think about why they think the way they do. But when they can't give you something to go on to understand why they think the way they do, other than, like I said, all she could do was tell me Trump 2020. I mean, I'm not a Trump guy, but but I'm definitely a conservative. I'm definitely a conservative. But there have been some things here lately that Trump has been doing and saying that I'm not too big on board with. Some of the tariffs and things like that. But at the same time, I'll admit here lately I haven't been keeping up with politics as much as I should. But people just go crazy about politics, especially now that everything is so left and so right. It's just, just like with the whole thing with, what I was getting into the debate with the rates. Everything is just so divided. I wasn't even trying to make that a divided topic. I was simply throwing out my opinion to say, well, if you want to leave, if you don't want to leave money on the table, then you need to ask them first what they're trying to move the load for. That's it. And all she could literally do is say, no, you're wrong. All right, give me a reason why. Tell me why I'm wrong. And as everybody, everybody on that load, or everybody on that page kisses her ass and, likes to, say, well, what's going on, boss lady? And, no, man. I only joined that group because I wanted to try. I wasn't even a member of that group until the whole issue between her and Alaskan Cowboy, because I wanted to see, some of the posts that she was saying about what was going on. I'm like, I got intrigued. I won't lie. But I don't know how that group has 25,000 members. I just don't. Not with, not with that kind of leadership. Oh, I've never gotten into the drama, and I guess I'm kind of delving into that drama line a little bit thick right now, aren't I? My apologies. anyways, what's going on, guys? Is everybody out there staying safe and staying warm and staying out of the snow and crap? Opinions do not matter with some people, and when they do think that way, you can't. Exactly, Hugh. You know, like, I really wasn't trying to, win a debate. I was just trying to explain why you don't want to leave money on the table. Right, Jeff. And that's a very sensible way to look at it, I used to be really far right. Like, really far right, I mean, not like alt-right, far right, but, I was pretty far right. And now I'm more, moderate right. I try to look at everything as evenly as I can. Of course, as a human, I have my biases. My biases. We all have our opinions. Be it in business or in politics, sports, whatever. We all have our opinions. There's only one truth. I hate when people say, well, her truth or his truth or their truth. There's only one truth out there, but everybody can have an opinion. That's the beauty of it. With that said, you can explain to bluish hue. I like that. Bluish hue in the face, but nothing will change their way of thinking. Nope, you're right, bluish hue. You're right. You cannot change and I never want to try. Well, I take that. There are some topics where you might be real passionate, and your goal is to change the way they think. I mean, that's why you debate a lot of times. But yeah, you're right. Unfortunately, but it's like, when I kept trying to ask her to tell me what I did or why my way is wrong, and I got so thorough with why I feel my way is right. But I wasn't telling her way was wrong. I was just telling her why that would leave money on the table, possibly. And then all she could do is say that I'm wrong and that I need to join her class. I need to take her course in order to understand why I'm wrong. Okay, yeah, I'll take your course. I'll pay for your course so that I can, be talked down to and understand why I'm wrong and why it's good to leave hundreds of dollars on the table. That makes a lot of sense, boss lady. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is one of those things I just kind of get a little bit passionate over, I guess. Always wondered why people took the class. Now I'm like, dang it. You know what? I'm I'm kind of the same way, Hugh. We didn't really have a debate class though, when I was in high school, but I do wish that we had, But of course, back then I wouldn't have, I wasn't as passionate about a lot of this stuff, about politics or anything like that back then. And I, like now I'm a lot more passionate. I'm not nearly as passionate as I was for a bit, just because everybody's gotten so crazy. It doesn't matter how passionate you are. If you want to, even a moderate leftist these days is looked at as a Nazi from the far left. And if you say anything that's moderate to right or left moderate to right, you're looked at as a Nazi by everybody else on the left. And so it's like, why even try to debate those people when all they're going to do is yell out Nazi and racist and homophobe and xenophobe and all these other phobes. I'm scared of spiders, so I guess I'm an arachnophobe too. That's right, man. Hot chicks and kegs and football. I was a band geek when I was in high school. So I was in the marching band. So yeah, I was at the football games. I loved it. I loved going to the football games. Talking. There's some good-looking girls in the marching band. When I was there. They weren't all nerds, but yeah, I was a drummer though, so I kind of, I was one of the cool band guys because I was the lead drummer my senior year. I was the head honcho. Yep, I played drums. Retired trucker. I played every drum there was. I played drum set when I was not in marching band. I played drums everywhere. I love playing drums. Pretty much, Jeff. Girls. Yeah, that's true, man. But I don't know. Yeah, sometimes you gotta look back on those high school days and reminisce, right? It was fun though. I remember my high school. We had one of the best football. Technically, it was only the second best football team in the state because we didn't win state. We went to state a couple of years in a row, but we didn't win. But Piqua, Ohio. But I remember going to state, and I was playing drums, and holy hell was it cold, man. I was playing my drums, and my hands I had gloves on, but it's so hard to play drums with gloves on. It's just trying to keep the drumsticks in your hands and everything, because you don't have a good grip. But yeah, I think I actually dropped the drumstick in the middle of the field that day. Because I'm pretty sure I did. I always carried extras with me. It was a rule of mine. I'd always carry extra drumsticks. Nice. What kind of kit do you have, retired trucker? I had three drum kits. I had a Ludwig Vista Light, from the 70s. There was a, translucent red Ludwig Vista Light double bass drum kit. And then I also had, my favorite drum set that I had was super, super awesome. And it was a Yamaha Recording Custom. Mapex? I like Mapex. I like Mapex a lot. I had my favorite drum set was my Yamaha Recording Custom, which is a birch drum set. And it was a 10th anniversary edition. And they only made 500 of them, and they had 5 colors. Wait, no, I'm sorry, they made 250 of them, and they only had 5 colors and only 50 of each color. And so I had, basically a 1 of 50 drum set that was worth over $10,000. And that was amazing. Oh my God. And then I also had a Tama Star Classic maple drum set. That was a nice one too. It was the sunburst color. You had the Aquarian heads. I forget what color or what kind of heads I had on mine. It's been so long. I had. I know I didn't like the clear heads. They didn't sound as good to me, so I had the coated heads. But I can't remember. I may have had Aquarian. I had all Zildjian K custom cymbals though on my drum set with a full metal rack that went around the front of it. Man, that was a long time ago. And then I actually went to college. I went to Bowling Green State University in Ohio. I went there for music, but the drum instructor there was a douche. He and I didn't get along at all, and college just wasn't my thing. I left. I didn't like it. Salem, Ohio, bluish. I'm trying to think where Salem. Why is that? Salem, Ohio. I'm trying to think where that is. I know Salem, Ohio. Is that Northeast Ohio? I'm trying to remember where Salem, Ohio is. I think I just delivered a load there a few weeks ago. I want to say it's in Northeast Ohio. Like up by Canton. Close to Pittsburgh? Okay. So, yeah, kind of. So, Eastern Ohio, anyway. But, Yeah, I miss playing drums. That was one thing that I was definitely good at. You know, I had people coming to me all the time asking for lessons. Um, I had people, recommending me all over the place to play drums at different sanctions, different events. Once they heard me, they loved it. They kept asking me to play them everywhere. Ludwig made a good drum set. They kind of fell off though a little bit, but when they were in their prime, they were in their prime. Like I said, I had a Ludwig Vistalite drum set, which that was my very first set, and like I said, that was, I believe, from the '70s. And basically an antique drum set. But the Vistalites were clear. They were clear shells. Pretty cool looking sets, but didn't sound that great. They didn't have a very warm tone because the shells were, they were clear. They weren't made out of wood, which is how you get a good, nice warm tone out of these drums. A PDP kit? Is there such a thing? I mean, I'm assuming you're suggesting that because I drive for PDP, but I've never heard of a PDP kit. I've been out of drums for so long. The color of your drum set from 1984. Well, back in the 80s, they were all about solid colors, weren't they? So I mean, mine was red. That was from that era. I don't know. Maybe yellow. I'm gonna say yellow. Oh, okay, DW. Yeah, they make really good drum. I always wanted a drum kit from DW. I like DW because they were pretty much all custom made. For the most part, you didn't just go to the store and buy a DW kit. I mean, you could, but they were more so. Oh, blue. I was thinking blue, but I don't know why I just went with yellow. But it was oh, I'm an idiot. Your name is Bluish Hue. Bluish Hue, and I say yellow. Don't mind the ignorance, guys. Don't mind the ignorance. But yeah, DW always made some really. I know the drummer from Linkin Park. That was his choice of drums. Was DW. They sound amazing. They sound really good. That's right. Get her done. Yeah, I know. I remember back in the day when I was in high school, everybody liked the Pearl drum sets. But they had like the entry level Pearl drum set, which was like the Pearl Export, I think it was. I think it was a Pearl Export was the entry level. You could buy it for like $500, $600. But in my opinion, the only way to get a good Pearl set was to get their custom set, like I forget what the model was, but the professional set. But man, those were expensive. Of course, the drum set that I ended up getting was a $10,000 drum set. But I remember like the Pearl sets, they were beautiful sets. They had bird's eye maple, drums, and the bird's eye maple looked amazing. I mean, it was breathtaking. Especially with some of the different colored hardware that you could get. Oh my God, it looked good. Asked what the price was and took 2 years to get an answer. $600 in '84. Wow, that was a lot of cash for a beginner set back then. I don't know what that. I would guess $600 would probably equate to, I don't know what, maybe $1,300 today, maybe. Yeah, well, birch was what my Yamaha recording custom was. Birch was the best wood, from what I understood. Birch was the best wood for recording situations, and maple was the best for live situations, because I guess maple had a tone that carried better, and birch was a more like, solid whatever, it just had a better recording quality to it. Hate to say, huh? Why are you dating yourself, Hugh? Is that, you're giving your age away or something? Is that why you hate to say? I was born in 85. I was born in 1985. I am technically, and I'm not proud of it, I am one of the first millennials. Oh. Ugh. Surprised I know how to work. Oh man, I got my tell you what, I'm a little nervous. I got my physical coming up on Monday, and yeah, I'm getting a little nervous about it. The more and more I think about it. I've never had an issue with it before, but I know I've gained some weight here lately. I'm getting a little more and more nervous. Oh man, I've never had even remotely high blood pressure, but I'll tell you what though, starting your own business doesn't do much good for blood pressure. I'll tell you that right now. So hope to God that everything comes out okay. Last thing I need right now is to be put out of service because I'm too unhealthy. It's one thing if my truck isn't running right, but if I'm too unhealthy, that's a whole nother ball game right there. So where are you guys at? Well, I think Hugh said he was lounging in his chair, but where's everybody else at tonight? You guys all staying safe, I hope. Yeah, I've been drinking a lot of water. I had a salad for dinner tonight. But I drink some Gatorade too every now and again, but I haven't had a pop in that's Ohio for soda. I haven't had a soda in probably, I don't know, 2 weeks at least. Trying to get back off of those. I went for like 7 or 8 months without a soda for a while. But yeah, I want to get back off the sodas. Yeah, I've got 2-gallon jugs of water in here. One's in the refrigerator and one I have sitting down by my driver's seat so I can just take swigs every now and again while I'm driving down the road. But yeah, I definitely try to drink as much water. See, now that's the problem in and of itself as a truck driver, is drinking water. Because I know anyway, I need to try to drink a gallon of water a day. But holy hell, try to drink a gallon of water a day and not have to pee every 5 minutes. It's not easy. And when you're a truck driver, that's the worst damn thing. It's just horrible. I mean, when you have to stop literally like every 50 minutes to go to the bathroom, it's like, okay, well, it's not really, yeah, your health is always worth it, but the goal to driving a truck is to keep this left door closed for as long as you can. And you can't be stopping every hour to go to the bathroom. So it's like I got to learn how to regulate, so that I can drink enough water that it's healthy, but not so much that it's putting me in the bathroom every hour. But that's kind of a hard balance to find. Man, this the Flying J that I'm at right now, it was a nut house. I didn't think it was going to be this packed on a Saturday night. Usually, truck stops aren't that bad on Saturday nights. But tonight, man, it was pretty packed. And I'm not the kind of guy that goes and bitches, to the people working at the truck stops about other people. But there were about 10 or 12 trailers that were dropped here that aren't supposed to be dropped. And, this isn't a drop lot, it's a Flying J. And they were dropped in spots that we could have been using. And I went in, when I went and got my salad, I said something to them, and they had no idea the trailers were even dropped. So I tried to, I asked them, I said, did anybody ask permission to drop the trailers? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh, okay, well, you got like 10 or 12 trailers sitting out there in the last couple of rows, just sitting there. Nobody's there. I'm like, oh, okay, well, we'll take care of it. But I haven't seen anybody do anything about it yet. Like I told her at the counter, I said, if it was one or two, I wouldn't care. But, when you got like a dozen of them that are taking up spots, and kind of what makes me mad about that too is I pay a drop lot to let me drop my trailer at home. So even if these guys drop these trailers here so they can go home, it's like they're dropping it, for free. Why should I have to pay if they're dropping the damn things for free? Reefer peak season. You mean that's why they're so busy, you mean? Yeah. That makes sense. See, there's a bobtail driving by. I bet you he's probably going to go hook up to one of these drop trailers. But see, the thing is, though, too, is like, I don't know, 80% of the trailers that are dropped are dries. They're not even reefers. But, I don't know, it just makes me mad when people are dropping trailers in these spots that we need. I should be getting off here. I got to get up at I don't even know what time it is right now. It's I don't know, close to 9, I guess. I got to be up at 3 in the morning so I can go make this delivery and then go home. Can't wait to go home, though. Cannot wait to get home and see my kids. That is what makes everything worth it out here. Makes it hard as hell to leave, but it makes it worth it coming home. That's for sure. I noticed when I went live, Little Dog was live too, so I guess I'm probably not going to get too many people in here, but that's all right. Got 3 people in here anyway, a couple of them participating, so I appreciate that. But I think I am going to go ahead and sign out of here. Go on to bed and get up and deliver this load in the morning. And like I said, go home and take my physical on Monday. Yay! But anyways, guys, y'all have a good one out there. Be safe. And just hope you guys are making some money. And I hope you guys get to see your family soon. It's almost Christmas. So, hope you guys get home soon. We'll talk to you guys all later. Same to you, trucker. Same to you, retired trucker. Take care, guys.